if you were 3 years old or 5 years old or 7 years old, nobody should be held accountable for that if that's what you were
Yeah.
taught,
Yeah.
so,
And nobody ever
um,
tried to address it or anything. So like,
right.
just think if everybody
Hmm.
thought like that, and really, even as grown people, like looking at this grown man and trying to, understand him and realize that he didn't do this to himself. Like this is how he was raised. He's wrong, but you know what I mean? Especially for like people on the other side of it, or like African Americans, we're just so like, and I can understand why, but if we have to take accountability and also try to understand them too, because we're at the
Hmm.
receiving end and they're at the other end, but there's still reasons here, you
Hmm.
know, that this is happening. But instead, we just want to be on the end of like, you owe it to us, this is wrong.
Right, right.
Like, where are they coming from? That's where
Hmm.
people don't really want to. We want. It's about us,
Yeah,
us, us, screw them. And I'm just like,
yeah,
well, we're in this together regardless, so we
yeah.
might as well figure this thing out.
Hmm. Yeah. Yep. So there's that other side to it where they have to recognize that they've been taught something that
Yeah.
wasn't, that just, it was at such a young age that they didn't get a chance to even question it. They didn't get a chance to even compare it to anything else, and now everyone's in a position to try to understand it, and of course you can get defensive. Anybody would get defensive about that. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
but
that's why
but
this is
the
such a great way to
yeah,
go
yeah.
about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that
'Cause
you don't even touch on that, and
mhm.
that's not even the focus of it. Like, it's just the focus is on, bringing it out in a positive manner.
Yeah,
So,
most
um,
definitely.
so it's definitely something any person of any color could watch. You even, even as you, the other problem is, okay, well, people have a problem with the LGBTQ community. It
Yeah.
applies to that too, like, okay, so why do you feel this way
Yeah.
about someone who's a transsexual? You know what I mean? Like, where you might have a violent or negative response to seeing someone like
Mhm.
that. Where's that come from? It comes
Yeah,
from
somewhere.
someplace.
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. Yep.
And even as a person attempts to try to explain it and say, well, that's not normal. Okay, well, okay, you're saying that because you heard that from someplace,
Yep.
or you're trying to explain it, and you're going to use words that you've heard before, or stuff that you've read or heard from your friends, or uh, unconsciously heard when you're growing up, or whatever. Everyone has to understand how to handle just differences between
Yeah.
things, people, humans, or whatever, and just realize that it doesn't have to be in a negative manner. So, you know, this series addresses really just, it's more human nature than in cultural situations than anything. Sure, we're kind of talking about race, but it does apply to just human beings and how they
Yeah.
relate to each other, and whether they're trying to beat them up, kill them, or
Yeah.
oppress them. And then, well,
Bullying.
why are you trying to oppress them?
Yeah. Bullying. I was like, that starts somewhere. That's like you don't just wake up. Kids are not born just mean. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's something that was learned, taught. No one tried to control it. Oh, kids are just mean, and then it got out of control. Now it's way out of control. And even if you look around as adults and grown-ups, it's still happening. I look in the White House and I can see bullying in there too. And I was like,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
they they didn't just become a bully. They probably been a bully all their lives. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
So it does apply to bullying, and then I mean, here's another one. It also applies to rich people versus poor people. You
Yep.
know, some people who are wealthy handle that wealth in a positive manner.
Hmm.
Other people who are wealthy look down upon people who don't have money, you know,
Yeah.
and not really realizing that it's structured that way. There the system is structured so that there are rich people, poor people, and then some people in the middle. You know, it's structured that way. Well, how's it structured that way? Well, if wealth is passed down from generation to generation to generation, well, you're going to have people who are always wealthy.
Yeah.
Then,
And they have
if you
that.
never had any wealth,
Yeah.
then you're going to be over here. And, now you're over here with no wealth and you try to go to school, but you don't have any money to go to school. Okay, well, you want to go to school. They say, well, here, take out a student loan. Take out more student loans. Take out more student loans. Okay,
Yeah.
so now you finish and you go
Well,
look for a job and it doesn't pay you enough to pay off your student loan. So now
right.
you're still not wealthy. That's
Exactly. Like
structure.
I went to school, I was gonna be wealthy. Like
Yeah,
they didn't go to school, honey.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Given to them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other side grows up and they've always had wealth because when their parents passed away, they left them $3 million trust fund. And the
Yeah.
other one left them a $10 million trust fund. So did they need school? No, they didn't need any school. Well, they went to school because why not? They have the money. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. You know, the key
So
thing that people forget to do though with that, because I know all people aren't bad that have money, and not saying
right,
not
correct.
people are bad, but they forget to teach their children empathy on the way with it.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
with my students, they're like, "Look at his shoes, ew." And I'm
yeah.
like, "Well, you don't have any shoes either. Those are your mother's shoes." Okay, so let's
Mm-hmm.
not,
Mm-hmm.
what I mean. Then I started to talk to him. I'm like, you should be happy that he has shoes on, and I try to tell even as at first grade, second grade, I tell them, I'm like, you don't know what a person is going through at home, or what you could,
Mm-hmm.
you want to tear somebody down, or you want to be somebody that lift somebody up, or just what if it was you? Just got to give them
Mm-hmm.
all those scenarios to make to hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they'd be like, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
They forget to teach empathy when they're throwing all these expensive things at their kids.
Yeah.
It's like
So it
not good.
applies. Yeah. It it's just everyone is taught certain things and then they just believe that a certain person is a certain way, but really it's just you have to take a step back and just say well, why do I think this, or why do I feel this way? And you'll
Yeah,
find that someone, your surroundings taught you how to think that way and
yeah,
behave that way. And
yeah,
you should be more compassionate and have empathy and just realize we're in a system that they set up to try to run the United States, and it's not perfect, and that's why we gotta change it so that it's better for everyone instead of just
everybody.
being so that everyone has a chance rather than just leaving it the way that it is,
Exactly.
because the
Yeah,
way that it is now is as much as they want to say everything is fine, you can see once that pandemic hit, it exposed a lot of stuff.
yes, it did,
It
and
exposed,
it still
uh,
is.
yeah, it just exposed so many things, uh, the differences in wealth.
Mhm.
Even when they first tried to say, "Oh, we're gonna give everyone a stimulus check," and then they said, okay, and everyone that's not working, we're going to give them, some unemployment. Well, they found they had to extend the length of time because guess what?
Yeah,
They didn't have the money. And then what did they have to do about rents and mortgages? They had to say, okay,
so,
no one has to pay any rent. well,
yeah,
well, why are you saying that? Well, you're saying that because there's a big difference between wealthy people and people who don't have any money. It's hard to pay rent if you're not working.
yeah,
Well, the wealthy people didn't have a problem with that.
right.
So it exposed the differences in the wealth, but you might not really have seen it if everything was just fine. But as soon as you threw the thing where people couldn't go to work, it exposed the difference. And then they were even showing how that some states, their unemployment wasn't as high as other states. In some
Yeah.
states, their unemployment checks were just so low that the government had to step in and say, okay, well, we're going to give everyone an extra $300.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
why'd they do that? Well, because there were
Mhm.
differences, that nobody noticed before.
Yeah. Big differences. They kept
Yeah,
doing it
big
like in
differences.
California. I was like, well, it's just going, not sending people stuff. It's always bad here when it comes
Hmm.
to that. I'm just like, how can it be this bad? You do this. How long you been working at this job? You should have this
Yeah, yeah.
locked down. So that's why
Hmm.
I always see it's something else going on here. Like because they
Hmm.
don't play with that money. Like you didn't just lose it or
Yeah,
this happened. I'm like, dude, you couldn't even when people really were struggling and asking like, "Can you get some assistance?" And you're like, "Yeah, well, you don't qualify."
yeah,
Now all of
yeah.
a sudden,
Now all of a sudden they have all this money to give out.
everybody can get it. If you're on the street, they have
Everybody can get it.
going on. It's like tell everybody if they're homeless or on the streets, they got stimulus here. All they got to do is go
Yeah,
down here and give it to them. Like, really? I mean, that's
and everybody remembers before there was no money anywhere.
no at
No
all.
money for nothing. No programs to help anyone. No money for nothing.
No,
Now a worldwide pandemic, they're like, oh, we have money to do everything now.
yeah, everybody can just get it. I'm like,
Yeah. So it exposed the pandemic exposed a lot of like inequities, like just differences in the way people have money and the way people don't have money.
yeah,
And they realize that you can't just sit there and say, "Oh, well, they'll try hard and they'll work they'll pull themselves up from their bootstraps." Okay, yeah, let's see that happen. That wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen when you have rent or a mortgage, a car payment, and nobody's going to work for 3 months. Okay,
right.
let's see them
Like,
pull themselves up from their bootstraps.
yeah, I was like, to me, it seems like if it's gonna put in a sticky situation because it's like you're gonna have to pay. If you're not going to work, none of it makes sense because like, well, how am I supposed to accumulate? How am I supposed to
Yeah,
if there's no job? Give me this, then you might as well just keep going. And
yeah,
then nobody really wants you to keep. I know me. You keep telling me you're gonna give me money, I get nervous. I'm like, I really don't want any money from you because
yeah.
it comes with something. It comes with a
It
price.
comes with something. Yes, exactly.
And
Yeah.
I don't
What are
want
the strings attached?
Yeah, I was like, that makes me nervous. Like,
Yep.
very nervous. Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty
And
sad.
then
I'm thinking though, it's true.
they quickly realized if they didn't do that, we were gonna the country was gonna be in a very bad situation. So they had to. You can't just sell that illusion of pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
You're not giving them
When
pull it from.
yeah, where are you gonna pull it from? Like, come on, everything's shut down
Yeah,
and everyone's rent is due, and it was due for the last 3 months.
right. Landlords are getting really
Yeah,
upset.
yeah. And then
Yes,
some of them were even saying, "Oh, okay, when the pandemic ends, we want the back rent and the rent that's due." Okay,
yeah, they
is
were
that
saying,
even realistic? Like, come on.
yeah. That's what I was thinking too. And I'm like, and then they come at the very end. They go, okay, so this is what's going to happen. So I'm just
Yeah,
like, yeah, of course, because it didn't make sense. You said it first time.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, pretty sad. It's funny. I mean, it's good to be able to laugh at stuff, but then it's just kind of like you guys got to do better.
Hmm.
Like stuff together
Yeah.
if you're gonna try to.
So we just have to reorganize things,
Yeah,
so that it benefits everyone instead of just the way it is, because a natural disaster exposes that it's not a good setup. You know what I mean? So as long as there's no natural disaster, they can stay the same. But when we can just look, there's always going to be a natural disaster, from forest
yeah,
fires to weather events, tornadoes.
pandemic.
Now, yeah,
I said,
pandemics. Now we're seeing that can happen. And then you're seeing you can't make someone not be near someone. You know what I mean? Like we
yeah,
learned that. Like you're
they
going to
should have.
hug a family member.
They did it too. So they got caught. So I don't know why they even thought that.
Yeah,
Our government, ours
yeah,
did. As soon as he
yeah,
put the rule out, he got caught, and he just like,
yeah,
I'm so sorry that it happened. I should have been
yeah.
there. Like he was talking about don't
That's
sing, don't sing
yeah,
together. Like don't sing.
yeah. It's human nature. You're going to be near your family members. You're going
Yeah.
to socialize.
Yeah.
But, that shows that we're vulnerable to, you know, a pandemic, so the next one could be more deadly. And are we just everyone gonna put a mask on? No.
Right.
Some of us will, but not everybody.
Right. We gotta be more prepared as people too, just like
Hmm.
as said, always just looking towards them. It's like
Hmm.
we have the means and capabilities to think and to just use what we have to prepare so we don't have to seek to them. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
we watched it happen somewhere else and realized that could be us. Let's get
Hmm.
on. That's how
Hmm.
I know I've been preparing for all kinds of stuff, you know?
Yeah. And they
So
have to spread the money around, more so that, you know, the level of poverty isn't there, and the level of homeless people aren't there, because the next time something like this happens, everyone is in a better position to deal with it, not where you know no one has any money saved up because you're not paying them anything. So it's just, it's just that there has to be some.
gotta level out. Okay, you gotta make
Yeah.
somebody be able to do those things. Like
Hmm.
you acquire them
Hmm.
to have it, then you have to make it possible. Now, if someone chooses not to, but at
Yes,
least
that's
have it
different.
there so they so they can access it and try to. But now, if they choose
Hmm.
not to, then that's on them. But if they can't
Yeah,
even
that's on that.
name these
Yes.
things,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
what up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, hopefully
Yeah.
that this year and last year will truly, because too many lives have been lost, like just way too many. I don't think they really necessarily had to, you know what I mean? Things happen, but I think that just gotta do better. And I truly believe your documentary is something like how it touches on everything. You can use this in any.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
can be something that get people to
Hmm.
have empathy for one another.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
like I said, that's why I keep pushing it out there, keep doing episodes, keep finding ways to make it easier for someone to watch.
yeah,
Coming back on your show, and obviously I'll come back again. As the other episodes come out and you see them, because
yeah.
it'll
Right.
spur you to say, "Wow, we gotta talk about this." The
Right.
latest one, because it's interesting. It just really uh pulls back the curtain, and you just look and you just say, like, wow, like, what is everyone doing? Like, this is a great place, and to be, but the way that we're doing it is just making it so that it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, yeah,
And we just got to fine tune it a little bit, and then it'll be better for everyone, and nobody's gonna lose out on anything. That's the way some people take it, as
yeah.
if we do fix this, some group of people are gonna lose out
Right.
on something. There's not even anything like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just making it more positive for everyone.
Yeah, which is possible. I truly believe. But hey, we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
proud of you that you've been able to, like keep it going,
Hmm.
and now you got the series and stuff. And
Yeah.
so this was amazing. I always knew I had to revisit this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 And when we first met, we always said, "Hey, we're gonna do another show and reconnect." And Um, like I said, I've just been busy trying to make it easier for people to see everything, and just easier for everyone to connect with it, in a fast and easy way, and non-threatening way, where
Yeah,
they don't feel it doesn't single anybody out or place blame on anyone. So
yeah, and I like that too.
yeah.
That's like very important. That's like, you know what I mean? Good thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, because no one likes when you're getting the finger pointed at you and say, "Yeah, well, it was your fault,"
Right.
and then you're sitting in the room and everybody's pointing at you, and you're just like, well, "Okay, well, and nobody likes that." So,
No. Yeah.
like I said, that's why I did it in this way, where anybody can watch it and not feel like that finger is being multiple fingers is being pointed at them.
Yeah.
So anybody can watch this and take something away from it.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Well, thank you so much for like
Oh
coming
yeah.
back and sharing. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the best. Just so I just made my day. I'm just like, oh, this.
And after you release it, I'm gonna put it on all my stuff and spread it out there, so you'll
Thank
get a
you.
lot of views. You'll definitely, because my network has grown a little bit bigger, so there's a lot more places that after you get everything done and posted, um, I'll put it out to all my things so that it gets spread out there, so that
Thank
more
you.
and more people see it. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'll definitely let you know when it's up and going. I'm too excited to put it out there. And then also I was thinking about hosting like a little movie night where I found this new little site where I could run the like put movies on and like have a group.
Ah,
Hmm.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, if you
That's
haven't
a
heard of it,
really good.
it's called Airtime. Okay.
Ah, okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like it. A lot of young people are taking to it, which is a good crowd too. But like I came across it and I was like, I can run them and they just come into your room and everybody's usually quiet. You turn off your mics so you can turn your mics on, turn them off, and then
Wow, that's good.
so
That's a
yeah,
good idea.
I'm app poor. I have a new show called App Whore. So a radio show coming out.
Ah, okay. Yeah, let me know.
No, definitely I will. A lot's been going on, so I definitely will update you.
Okay, that sounds good.
Before we go though, can you please let the listeners know everything Kevin Douglas Wright? Let them know like, where they can find you and
Yep. Once again, my name's Kevin Douglas Wright, and the way that you would actually go to see my documentary series is called "I Learned It From You." You can watch it on Tubi. That's Tubi. Just you can look at it if you're just using a cell phone. Just go into the App Store, whether you're using iPhone or Apple or Android, and just look for it in the App Store. Tubi, Tubi, and then go into the little search box and search for "I Learned It From You," and you'll see the series in there. It's the first 3 episodes. I'm currently filming. Well, we filmed it already. I'm currently editing episode 4, 5, and 6. So that'll be episodes 4, 5, and 6 will be up soon. And that's the fastest, easiest way to watch any of the episodes. Is Tubi. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Um, the other way you can reach out to me is on Instagram. It's at Kevin Douglas Wright. So it's my full name, Kevin Douglas Wright. Just search for me on Instagram. And then the website name is ilearneditfromu.com. And that's it.
cool. I'll make sure I put those in the notes. And I know you have you also Douglas Kevin Douglas Wright also has other I seen your other ones too that I haven't. I wrote them down though. I said okay, so I can do these ones. So I'm gonna focus here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, so maybe we can, because I definitely want to know what else is in your head.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else you got going on over
Yeah.
here? So yeah, most definitely. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for doing what you do, and just keep doing.
Yeah. I'll be happy to come back again.
Alrighty, well, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for tuning
Okay.
in. Take care.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.